What's up, everybody? It's Death I Bring. I'm back. Another day, another dollar. It's still gloomy over here in Virginia. We're going to be talking about a pretty crazy subject. It's kind of personal to me for the simple fact that I've had a lot of people, friends and family, die from drugs, okay? So we're going to be diving into the drug trafficking in the penitentiary, okay? The prices, what there is in there, how much do you get for the price that you pay, how people make money off of it in prison, how they get it in there, and also what's going to happen if you get caught with it. So, let's get right up into this drug trafficking, drug ring penitentiary style, okay? Alright, let's just say I've done some drugs in my life, okay, I have, but the main drug that I've always stuck with, and it's going to be one of my main topics of this episode when it comes to drugs, is marijuana. Okay, well, let's just say there's a bunch of ways to get drugs into the jail or prison, okay, there's a bunch. But the main ways, I'm sure that you already know, is there's a saying for it. It's called suitcasing, or it's just suitcasing, okay? Let's say people want to get stuff in through visitation, or they bring it from the streets. They're gonna shove it up their butt, man. That's just how it is. They're either gonna shove it up their butt, or they're gonna swallow it and throw it up later on. Now, I've seen some crazy instances with people going to visitation, swallowing drugs, coming back, throwing it up, and selling it to the population. I'm going to tell you a quick story on that right now, but actually first let me tell you another way that's really been happening lately in prison, okay? There's gates and there's fences all over prison. Almost every prison has a rec yard where everyone goes, you know, plays soccer, baseball, lift weights, runs, work out, whatever. Nowadays, people are flying drones right over these fences, about 100 yards in the air, and they'll just drop packages right onto the rec yard. And correctional officers and security of prisons are starting to get the hang of this, and they are searching the rec yards more often. They'll keep you locked down longer while they search these rec yards and comb the fields and whatever. That is one of the new ways that they're doing it. Straight drone dropping, man. It might sound easy, like very easy, but I'm here to tell you, it's not as easy as it looks, okay? People are getting caught left and right behind this stuff. And somehow or another, they will trace it back to you. Always remember that the phone calls that you're using phones with, they are recorded in prison and jail. And even some prisons, I don't care what they say, if you're on a red flag, for gang life or drug selling, they're going to open up your letter before it even goes out. I don't care if it's against the federal law. That's just what's going to happen, man. And, they read your letters when they come into the prison as well. They'll open up your letters, all this, that, and the third, and they're going to make sure that don't have nothing to do with any of that drug nature or gang literature, or sending out hits to kill someone in another block or on the street. So always remember that. Go to prison or jail, everything's recorded. Everyone knows pretty much everything when it comes into that facility or out. So, okay, so we see there's suitcasing, there's swallowing of the drugs, drone. There's another way of bringing it in is correctional officers. There's a lot of them, a lot of dirty correctional officers. When I was in the first prison I was in, I had a buddy named Munchie. This dude was big, man. He ran a store box, which is pretty much like a 7-Eleven in his cell, okay? And he would, give all his food away for interest rates. And, the interest will build, and you'll always end up paying more than what it's worth for food and drinks, whatever he has. He also sold other stuff. But I remember one time, man, this guy, this was a long time ago, man. I was like 18 years old. And this the CO, she came in, or he came in, and he went into into his cell, put a pillow up into the window so no one could see. And this is a CO, okay? He went into the cell, put a pillow in the cell window, in there for about 10 minutes, opened the cell up, took the pillow out, opened the cell up, and he walked out. Next thing you know, the dude came up to my cell, was like, hey man, this, that, and the third, you good? You need anything? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. He said, well, check this out though, I just want you to see this. And he whipped out $700 bills right in front of my face, man, cash. It's been probably 2.5 years since I've seen any kind of cash, and those hundreds, man, they look fake, but they weren't. They were real as day, man, and COs are dirty, man. I'm telling you, they're dirty. Well, I wouldn't consider them dirty, but they're just looking out for other inmates. This guy's bringing in cash to them, dirty magazines, cell phones, you name it. He was bringing it into them, man. And COs do get searched too, or ran through a little detector thing before they come into the prison. So he was risking a lot. Usually the COs that do this stuff are either the women that are in love with the guy, or this guy knows these people personally on the streets. And that's just how it is. So, those are the ways that drugs get into the system. Anything gets into the system. Now, I'm going to tell you a story really quick about, before we get to drug prices and what's in there, I'm going to tell you a story right now about someone that I knew personally in Deep Meadows Penitentiary, state of Virginia. This guy used to go to visitation every week, okay, and he would swallow balloons of dope, heroin, and weed. And he would come back and throw them up immediately. And the way that people throw stuff up in prison without having to gag themselves or whatever, all you have to do is swallow a toothpaste cap of shampoo. That's it. And man, you will be puking in like the next 10 minutes. That's how he did it. Well, this time he came back and he had a big package, man. He had probably about 8 balloons that he swallowed full of dope, heroin. And he came back, he swallowed his shampoo, he puked, but nothing came up. And he was really freaking out, man. And he came and asked me and was telling me what happened and stuff. And I was like, yo, maybe, I think you should go to a doctor, bro. If that stuff busts in your stomach, man, you're going to die. For real. And he went against my good judgment. And he came to the solution that he thought maybe it won't bust in his stomach, that he'll probably just crap it out. You know what I mean? He'll just poop it out. And he was sadly mistaken, man. He definitely was. Within about 15 minutes after trying to puke and stuff, he was walking, and then all of a sudden you see him, he's just nodding out. He's nodding out. The balloons broke, man. He was nodding out. The heroin was hitting his bloodstream, and he was about to collapse. So a bunch of us, we picked him up. We started giving him juice and stuff, trying to help him. We didn't want to call the police. He didn't want us to. And finally, he just started turning blue. That's when everyone called the police. They went on lockdown, and they got him up out of there. I never heard from him again, man. I don't know if he lived or died. He was from Richmond. I'll never forget that guy. Anyway, so yeah, it's very dangerous, man. Heroin is a very dangerous drug, My brother passed away from heroin not too long ago, about 2 years ago. And that was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me personally, man. For the people out there that don't really know about heroin or what to look for, it's pretty easy to see sometimes. People, they'll be shooting up wherever. You'll see track marks. Sometimes they'll miss a vein or something and they'll swell up, or an open sore will come about. People think they have spiders on them. They're always paranoid. They're sleeping a lot, dozing off a lot. Those are simple signs of a heroin addict, man. I'm not an expert at it because I've never done dope, never done heroin, and I really can't tell you too much about it other than what I've seen my friends go through. It's a highly addictive drug, man, and I feel sorry for anybody who's on that drug. You don't know what they're putting in that stuff nowadays, man. in St. Bride's Correctional Facility, a level 2 prison. Okay, this was a level 2 prison I was in towards the end of my bid. And I told this story, a quick story on this, the last time in one of my other videos. But this one, this was so personal to me, man, because they were my close buddies. I played cards with them every day. I played chess with them. You know, me and my bunkmate, we all did stuff with these guys, man, and they were cool. They're very good people, man. They just had drug problems. Okay, they would get some dope like once or twice a week. And, you know, that's it. They didn't have much money, but they had whatever money they got, they went to the dope man in the penitentiary and got some dope. So, this occasion, we were playing cards. We were playing spades, man. That's another thing I want to show you. I got a mean card slamming game. Ha! Spades, boy. I love spades. Pinochle, you name it. I play all tabletops. Anyway. So they went to the bathroom, they had their little dope, they sniffed a couple little, whatever. It's hardly anything, man. The price out here for dope is probably triple in prison, and it's way less than what you're going to find out here. I can't give you a good description because I never bought it in prison, alright? I haven't even seen it bagged up. I just seen packages of it, but I've never seen how they disperse it. They usually disperse it in tin foil and stuff like that to keep it from whatever they do. Anyways, I never got into that scene, but I had a lot of friends that did. And this guy, these two guys, they came back after doing their dope in the bathroom. We were playing cards. And then they both slowly started, you know, nodding out. I was like, I had to hit them. Man, wake up. Come on, man. Finish the game. It's your turn. You know, I was used to it. They always did that if we were playing cards or chess and they just went and did a little dope. I usually give them a little coffee to wake them up or something. But this time, man, they just, they both dropped at the same time, and there was no waking them up. I remember we ran to the ice machine. We have an ice machine in most prisons, they do. Ran to the ice machine, got a big bucket of ice, and we dumped it down their pants, man, to try to shock them, to wake them up. It didn't do nothing. They were just turning blue, and they were drooling all over themselves, and it was a hell of a scene, man, and then that's when we called, you know, medic to come in there. And I'm going to tell you this, it took them about 30 minutes to come in there. We were looking at their bodies turning blue. I swear they died, man. Looking at their bodies turning blue. And it took them like 30 minutes to get in there. Get the stretcher and all that. Inmates had to help them put them on the stretcher because the people that brought the stretcher were nothing but women. And the COs weren't even helping them pick them up. So remember that if you ever OD in prison, you're probably going to die because it takes forever for people to come get you. Same way with fighting. If you get beat down, it's going to be a while before someone get you, man. So they put this guy's in the stretcher, and it was really personal to me as well because, you know, my brother passed away shortly after I got out of prison. Rest in peace, Mike. I love you, and I miss you, man. But these guys, they were good friends to me. They told me their life stories. They told me about their children, their wives. Every time they got off the phone with their wife, they either had a good call or a bad call, man, you know. They're either fighting or they were dead in love after the phone call. And that's all I was thinking about when I saw them laying there turning blue, drooling all over themselves and non-responsive. I was like, God, man. These kids, if they die, man, their kids are going to be so heartbroken. They see them every weekend. They would be faithful, come to see their mom and dad. Sometimes I'll be in there seeing them, and they'll be running to them, jumping on them and hugging on them and everything, man. And this is what I got to look at now. Their daddy's bodies laying blue right next to my bunk, turning blue right next to my bunk, and there's nothing we can do about it, okay? Heroin is a very, very scary drug, and if you are addicted, like I said, I'm sorry, man. You need to really snap out of it. And look at what's happening around you. People are dying, man. If you got a death sentence, go ahead, keep doing it. But I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Drop the habit. I know it might be hard, but if anyone can do it, and there's plenty of people that can do it, that have done it, then you can do it. You got to want it, man. You got to want to be able to quit. Anyways. So, yeah, that's a quick story about heroin in prison. It's ruthless. Another time, one of my other homeboys, he went in the bathroom to do it. He sniffed a little cat before he went, not a cat, he sniffed a little line or whatever, bump, before he went and take a shower. And I was like, yo, where's so-and-so? I went to the shower, man, he's laying butt naked, ODing on the freaking shower, man. We had to drag him out by his ankles, butterball naked. We threw a towel over him, and he was just dying right there in the shower, man. And the crazy thing is, there was someone at the other end of the shower watching the whole thing go down and didn't give a damn. That's it. He was just in there soaping his body up, watching this guy OD on the floor of the shower. Prison's real, man. People are ruthless. They're cutthroat. If anyone makes prison out to be a joke, they're a joke. Remember that. They are a joke because they obviously ain't seen nothing, or they're too scared to really talk about the truth. So, let's go on to the drug prices and what other kind of drugs are in prison. Alright, the drug prices in prison are pretty extravagant, okay? I have smoked weed in prison. I'm not going to lie to you, I have. Weed is all over the place. Weed and tobacco, those are number one things that you will always be able to find in prison, okay? I've seen Love Boat, which is dippers, embalming fluid, whatever you want to call it. I've seen pills, Oxycontin, all that stuff, morphine pills, Xanax. I've seen them. They usually cut them up into like 4 or 5 pieces, one pill, and sell each piece for $20, which is a lot of freaking money in prison, okay? $20 in prison is like $200 on the street. That's how it is, man. It's so hard to get money in there unless your family's rich. Weed, you'll get probably a thumbnail's worth of weed, okay? I mean, a pinky nail's worth of weed, like a little $2 nug for $10. Not even $2 nug. It'd probably be like a $1 nug on the streets for $10 or $15, okay? And it's literally paper when you roll it up. But you don't never do drugs, so your tolerance is so low that little pinner joint is going to get you and your friend high. It's amazing how little bit of weed can get you high in prison when you don't ever do it. But when you start doing it more often, that's when you really start going broke and running into debt, okay? The pills, like I said, they cut them up into 4s or 5s, sell them for $20 a piece. The dope, man, that dope is just crazy. It varies. Some people, you know, I've seen people sell dope at kind of close prices to the street. But, I mean, it's not, it's either cut, they cut it with crazy stuff. And yeah, not only is it cut when it comes into the prison, but those inmates find stuff to cut it with too. I've seen people buy protein shakes and cut it with protein shake powder. Man, be careful what you do out there, man. People are putting anything, they don't care nothing about you. All they care about is making that money. So yeah, if you go into prison and want to buy yourself a little joint, be ready to pay a pretty penny, okay? And you know what comes up after that. There's usually rats and snitches all over the place watching everything go down, and they'll run and tell the head of security, okay, the major or something, and they'll tell them who they saw buy this and there and what. And they'll pull them out for a drug test quick, fast, and in a hurry. These guys, they live to drop dimes on people, okay? Because they get special treatment from, they might get extra little trays or something. You never know. The state is giving them something. Trust me. There's some kind of incentive for these people that are dropping dimes on other people for doing drugs. And they watch it, man. They watch people. So keep your eyes open. People are always watching and waiting to drop dime on you, okay? Now let's talk about how some of the ways these guys make money off this drugs in prison. How are they making money? Okay, they might make food. They might get like $10 worth of canteen and food. But for the most part, the high rollers in there, okay, the little mini kingpins in the penitentiary, they're gonna make you do a moneygram pretty much. Okay, they'll make your family send them money from the streets to their name, and they'll just take the money. Let's say you'll call your family up. That's another sign. If you're got loved ones that are locked up and they're constantly calling you, if you got a son or a child locked up and they're constantly calling you to send money to someone else's name, it's either because they're doing drugs or they ran up a debt. Or they, like me, one time I had to call my parents. One time, man, I broke this guy who had a double life sentence. I broke his TV. And he was pissed. And he got his second life sentence by killing someone in prison. An Asian guy. Yeah, and it was real. True story. So I was scared as hell, man. I said, look, me and my homeboy were wrestling in there, and it was my cellmate. So we were wrestling, and I broke my cellmate's TV. Asia, that was his name. I'll never forget him. And I had to call my dad ASAP. I said, hey, look, man, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to send $200-some to this guy's name. I broke his friggin' TV, and he is pissed. I could see in his eyes he was going to kill me over that TV. Yeah. So, yeah, if your family calls you and says, hey, send money so-and-so, they're probably doing drugs or they're in debt. Not a good sign. Should you pay it? I would pay it. Yeah. And tell them the next time it ain't happening again. So don't ever, I don't care. You can tell them straight up, look, if you are in debt, I don't care if you are or not, I'm not sending you no more money to another person's name. Straight like that. But if he does call you for the first time or a few times and you don't know the drill, I would pay it because he could be in some serious stuff. So yeah, money from the street money to the an inmate's account, that's how they get paid for big purchases of like half ounces or ounces of weed or bundles of heroin. That's how they do it, okay? As soon as they get that money order in the mail, they'll come and deliver the drugs to you personally, okay? And let's say a half in there is like close to $300. It ain't gonna be nowhere near a half. It might be like a fat quarter or something. You know, you don't have no scales, you don't have none of that stuff. You just gotta take it how you can take it, man. I mean, it's not gonna be super less, but it's gonna be less than what a half ounce is on the street. And the bad thing about weed as well is it stinks, man. A lot of people get caught straight up off of the smell of it. So, I'm telling you this stuff because I've seen it and I've done it and I know that it gets you nowhere, man. Everyone that does drugs in prison, they're always paranoid as hell about piss tests. So why are you going to live in a state of paranoia if you know that you're going to get a urine screen sooner or later? Okay? And some people just don't care. But if you do get caught with this stuff, this is another topic. If you do get caught with this stuff in your system, your level is going to go skyrocketed, okay? And you know what that means? Let's say you're in a level 2 and you get caught with a dirty urine. You're going to be going to a level 4 prison. Get caught in there with a weapon or something, you're going to go to a level 4, level 5, 23 and 1. And when you come out for that 1 hour or whatever, 22 and 2, whatever, when you do come out, these guys are ruthless, man. The higher the level, the more scarier it gets, okay? I mean, level 2s, they can be scary sometimes too, because them young bucks about to go home, they're wild, boy. They are wild. They don't care because they're about to go home. But the higher level penitentiaries, people are really doing time. They're a lot laid back, but they'll snap. They have built up pressure and tension, and they will snap and turn into an animal, man. Like, within an instant, they're bipolar. It's crazy. So just remember that if you ever do drugs or want to carry a weapon, if you get caught, and you will get caught. Trust me. There ain't no free ride in this kind of game. You are going to get caught. And you are going to go to a high-level penitentiary, and you're going to regret it, man. You're going to be trying to fight people off your little Junie cakes, making sure no one busting things wide open, okay? That's just how it is. So yeah, I mean, that's about it, man, when it comes to the drug game in prison. It's dangerous. It's expensive. It's not worth it, man. And, you know, things that go hand to hand with it is gambling. I was a major gambler in prison. That is one of the main ways I killed time. I gambled. I played poker nonstop. And there's a million different poker games in prison. Paducah is number 1, man. If you have ever heard of Paducah, leave a comment, man, and tell me if you love it, man. Paducah Low. Yeah. If you heard this, if you're watching this, and you've been to penitentiary, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Paducah Low, Chicago Kings. Yeah, I played all that stuff, man. I love poker. I gambled my whole bit away and worked out. Anyways, that's a whole nother video, but the drug system in prison is real. It's in high effect. If you're ever looking to get high in prison, you definitely can. But mark my freaking words, man. You're going down, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to go down eventually. And there ain't no way around it. Same goes for the drug life on the streets if you're on probation. Just stop doing drugs while you're on probation if that's all it takes. Anyways, man, I hope you enjoyed this quick little episode about drugs in prison. The prices, they're going to be extravagant. Yeah, they are. So be prepared to pay a pretty penny. I love all y'all, man. I want to thank everyone who's been viewing my stuff, subscribing, liking. And if you haven't done it, you better go ahead and do it now, because I don't want y'all missing nothing, man. I'm doing a Mary Magdalene piece with a tattoo gun on someone's back right now, and I'm not done with it. I just started to outline it, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a video, fast motion, slow it down, fast motion, slow it down. I'm gonna let you see it from the beginning. I'm gonna compile it all together and let you see how a penitentiary gun tattoos someone's back, Mary Magdalene style. And I'm doing shading all with this lighter spring. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in one of my future episodes. It's going to be, I'm letting it heal on her a little bit right now because it really hurt her. The back is nothing to play around with, man. It hurts. So hit that subscribe button if you're looking forward to seeing more tattoo stuff or more information on the penitentiary, man. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, the real version, okay? I don't joke much, okay? I don't. I'm not really here to entertain. I'm here to give you facts, okay? This is prison. There's no entertaining thing about prison, man. It's hell on earth, okay? Till the next time, man. Death I bring. Nah.